you for inviting me for this briefing. I'm glad that the MDBC has once again taken proactive steps to work with the state government to have this briefing in Penang. Being one of the top 3 tourist destinations in Malaysia, Penang is also amongst the top investment location of choice. And for the period from 2010 to August 2013, Penang was number 1 in terms of FDIs in Malaysia, attracting 19.7 billion ringgit, or nearly 20% of Malaysia's total FDI during that period. Livability of a city determines the success in attracting talents into the state. And ECA International selected Penang as the most livable city in Malaysia in 2012. Penang is also not only the national champion but also the world champion, and Lonely Planet listed Penang as the number 1 food destination of the world. I'm sure you can testify to the excellent food in Penang. As an international intelligence city, Penang leverages on building a livable city that attracts human talent and formulates people-centric policies that upgrades Penang to be a developed, sustainable, and inclusive economy without poverty. So naturally, this is focused on 3 key areas of growing the economy that is inclusive, establishing centers of excellence in our core competencies, and improving livability. Now, Penang has been able to not only foster a supply chain ecosystem of high quality and efficient supply services, but also embed ourselves in a global production network. With the foundation of the advanced manufacturing clusters, the state government aims to restore economic dynamism by promoting innovation in science and technology. As the Silicon Valley of Malaysia, with a dynamic and advanced manufacturing cluster, with manufacturing making up 48% of the state's GDP. To sustain our growth, Penang not only needs to attract high-growth E&E sectors, but also develop medical devices and aerospace in our manufacturing base. But I'm sure that also is not sufficient. So if we review our past successes, Malaysia and Penang's economy has shifted from extraction in the 1960s to industrialization, from the export of raw commodities to manufacturing. In other words, Penang's economy was factor-driven by relying on basic commodities before being efficiency-driven by relying on manufacturing. To win the future, Penang needs to be not only efficiency-driven, but also innovation-driven in manufacturing, services, and even the public sector. The key to future economic success is not an over-reliance on one sector, but to seek convergence of not only the manufacturing sector, but also both the services and the government sector. Services sector includes not only tourism, medical treatment and education, but also shared services, IT, and BPO, such as finance, accounting, and data processing. In seeking convergence, the government plays an important role as an enabler between the manufacturing and services sector. Government must also invest and innovate. The government must invest in infrastructure, people, incentives, and subsidies. The government must also innovate with new policies that stresses on 1. Liberalization of the existing rules and reducing red tape. 2. Divestment from non-core businesses, or accept that the business of government is to stay out of business. Thirdly, permit free and fair competition. And finally, encourage human capital formation, where human talent is now the new oil of the global economy. In seeking convergence, what we need to do is to ensure a partnership of equals between the 3 sectors of manufacturing, services, and government. In other words, a partnership with capital, labor, innovators with the government as an enabler. Penang's future prosperity depends on whether we can achieve convergence and thus our manufacturing services and government sectors can be both efficiency-driven and innovation-driven. In addition to the array of manufacturing and industrial jobs, services are an even bigger creator of wide-ranging employment through an extensive range of office functions in the ITO-BPO sector. This ITO-BPO hub that we want to create will help corporations in the state to take advantage of a globally accepted business and operating model which allows business to focus on core competencies. Developing the state's talented young people to move up the value chain is also a priority of the state government, including the key area of ICT. We shall at the same time encourage infrastructure development, especially in education, by attracting world-class educational institutions not just at the university level, but also vocational level, adopting the German model, and thus generate employment opportunities for our youth. We are helping to build the capacity of the state as it moves towards a knowledge economy by maximizing local content, adding value through integrated industrial parks, and promoting economic diversification and entrepreneurship. In light of the demographic realities, this comprehensive framework offers a winning formula to create high-paying jobs. In other words, we are looking at creating a BPO industry in Penang. And as everyone knows that Penang has the necessary conditions towards establishing a BPO hub. In fact, KPMG has listed Penang as one of the 31 BPO hubs of the future. And we have actually received numerous investments from companies who are interested in establishing shared service organizations. And over the past 2 years, we have corporate giants such as Citigroup, Burma, the USD 17 billion ringgit corporation, food edible giant, First Solar, world's largest solar company, and of course Air Asia. I just had a meeting with Mr. Michael Zink from Citigroup, where Citigroup employs more than 1,000 local employees in Penang to run their largest regional trade and cash processing center for the transaction service business, with an annual volume of 20 million transactions worth 5.8 trillion US dollars. So looking at the intense demand for grade A office space, I think that the time has come for us to build this BPO hub. Apart from all these, as I said, famous names, you have also other SSO companies, shared services organizations such as IHS, ACMEL, toll forwarding from Australia, and of course Jurong Shipyard, and some of the companies listed here from Holland. Invariably, we find that these SSOs, these shared services organizations, established by this services company, they employ 100% Malaysians. Highly paid jobs where I'm sure foreign workers will not be able to fit the bill. And currently this sector is employing over 7,000 Malaysians in Penang. SSO, of course, can be easily incorporated into the proposed ITO BPO hub. Now we know that multinational corporations in Penang do not merely manufacture world-renowned products, they are also operating global SSO centers. Whether they are Intel, AMD, Jabil, Dell, Motorola, National Instruments, V. Brown, Mattel, Agilent Technology, Seagate, Shell, you name it, most of these companies are doing SSO. And we intend to attract them to come to Penang. There is growing knowledge intensity production in innovation-intensive areas, and growing interest in the services sector in the industrial clusters. And because we have identified the potential of ITO, BPO as a sunrise industry with tremendous growth potential, we are establishing an ITO, BPO hub in Penang. And today I would like to introduce to all the distinguished corporate captains here to the Penang ITO, Information and Technology Outsourcing, and BPO, Business Process Outsourcing Hub in Penang, next to the airport. With an expected gross national income of 3.3 billion ringgit, or $1 billion US, the ITO BPO hub is directed towards diversifying the state's economy and enable the growth of a viable employment sector. The IT BPO hub comprises three components. One, a IT BPO park in Bandar Pass, next to the Penang International Airport, comprising 74 acres. That is a final piece of land of that size left on the Penang Island. You can't find it anywhere else. Prime location, as I said, next to the airport. It's a hidden secret, and we want to use it for something that would really create an explosive impact, if possible, to drive Penang into the 21st century. I really believe that these 74 acres reserved for the ITO BPO park, basically for those companies involved in SSO and business process outsourcing. That is the first component. And this IT BPO park will also include the first university with a top 100 world university ranking. So far, there's no foreign university with the top 100 university ranking in Malaysia. We hope that the first one will be Penang. The second component is 7 acres of BPO, or 7 acres what we describe as BPO prime in Bayan Baru. The location is opposite PISA, or opposite the proposed exhibition center, SPICE, Subterranean Penang International Convention Exhibition Center. 7 acres directed towards the Information Technology Outsourcing Division, where you have all the computer experts doing their necessary data processing and computer processing. And finally, 100,000 square feet of creative animation triggers in the Georgetown Heritage Enclave to spark off the animation industry in Penang. The Penang State Government is therefore targeting the build-out of approximately 2.4 million square feet of Grade A office space. And we believe that we will be able to fill these offices with Grade A companies. The creative multimedia industry is much sought after, and Penang wants to go on the bandwagon, especially the animation industry. We have the talents, but I think we need to build the infrastructure. And you all may be surprised why we are doing it in the Heritage Enclave, because we have received inquiries from top animation companies that they only want to set up their office within the Georgetown Heritage Enclave. The reason why? You may be surprised. They feel that only in the Heritage Enclave like Georgetown, it can spark their creativity. Well, if Georgetown Heritage Enclave can inspire you, we will definitely do what it takes to draw you in. And that's why we have reserved several buildings, including the Yap Chor Yi building, as one of the identified spots for creative animation clusters. And also, of course, other buildings within the heritage enclave. And we hope to attract the creative types in the animation industry to come to Penang. And we can guarantee that they will also have a suitable environment where they will have the freedom to express what they think is most creative. You know, Penang is very famous, now has the art, culture and heritage capital of Malaysia. I'm sure you can testify to Penang's attractiveness. We have amazing vibrancy and dynamism in our art and cultural scene. It's just not the paintings and also the sculptures, but also the numerous art galleries that are now opening in Penang. Some of them, which I do not know also, but I think they have already been opened. And the reason why there's so much focus on Penang, because they know that Penang state government encourages the expression, encourages the freedom of artistic expression. In certain states, if you do wall paintings, you not only get whitewashed, you also get fined for 2,000 ringgit. But in Penang, if you do a good wall painting, we will not punish you. We may even give you 2,000 ringgit. So this 3.3 billion ringgit IT BPO hub brings a unique business model to Penang by leveraging on our manufacturing strengths, and is set to become a rich training ground for building new capabilities, skills and careers. And we intend to create 30,000 high-paying, knowledge-intensive and high-value jobs for Malaysians and Penangites over the course of 10 years. Now, Penang has recorded also impressive growth in tourism. With the promotion of Georgetown as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the organization of various festivals in music, arts and culture. You know about Georgetown Heritage Festival, our literary festival, our Gold Music Festival, our International Jazz Festival, the list goes on and on. And of course, the creation of a Bohemian art district within the Heritage Enclave with wall paintings and skilled sculptures. Penang International Airport recorded a 15% increase of tourist arrivals, with now hitting a high of 5.5 million tourist arrivals last year, compared to 4.8 million in 2012. And Penang recorded the top 3 tourist arrivals in the country with receipts of 8.6 billion ringgit in 2012. Medical tourism is becoming a more attractive form of tourism in Malaysia, and of course Penang is set to become a medical city. Malaysia is ranked 5th in the world for medical tourism destination in terms of reasonable costs with high quality medical services. And Penang has recorded again a steady growth of 15%. And we are proud to see Penang contributing 2/3 of the 250 million ringgit in medical tourism receipts nationwide. In closing, we will continue to work towards making Penang cleaner, greener, safer and healthier, because this is crucial towards realizing our vision to transform Penang into an international and intelligent city. To ensure that our economy is dynamic, resilient and capable of adapting to the volatile global environment, we must also be mindful of the need for solid fundamentals. And what are the solid fundamentals? Principally, good governance, integrity in leadership, and rule of law. In Penang, by adopting CAT governance, there is both stability and prosperity. And I think only then can Penang compete not only with other states in Malaysia, but also internationally, to achieve the trinity of choice as a habitat of choice for residents, the destination of choice for tourists, and the location of choice for investors in setting up business. And I also been informed that we are also the selfie of choice Like in one of the top 10 selfie spots in the world. Of course, we are the top food destination. But the list goes on and on. And we want to make Penang a cosmopolitan city. Not only for local residents, but for all our foreign friends and visitors. Remember, our tagline for our visitors to Penang this year is just only one word: freedom. It is only when we are free, then can we be free to realize our human potential. And that is what Penang offers to everyone. A platform for you to freely realize your potential. Thank you very much.